so that'll be next year. I have called Kemper to come out and survey early so we can decide if we can go behind Siemens or not, depending on the fall, what we have to do. And then the fourth, Bradford Outdoor Creations is starting on that second wall. He's got a section of it, little section of it up. He's been fighting weather like all of us. It's been terrible. One thing in old business that I don't have on here, and I apologize, is we talked last time about lots on hold. We thank you for putting in your article, by the way. We thought we would be flooded. We were not. Had a few, but not very many. So they are currently back up for sale. I will hang on to them as long as I can. I mean, it's more, some of them are in areas where a family will come in and say, hey, do you have one next to grandmother? Well, if they do, I will sell them. So it's not like I'm promoting them to sell, but if someone comes up and wants them, then yes. But I didn't get a number as how many that created, but quite a few lots, because we had some people with 8, 9 on hold, different stuff like that. And we've been received very well. I had a gentleman come in and was going to purchase one, and he wanted to put 2 on hold, and Leanne explained you can't do that, you put 1. So they made arrangements, whatever. He came back to pay for the other one and put the other one on hold. So I haven't had any terrible feedback yet from that, or problems with it. So it'll probably come later on, because either A, they didn't read the article, or didn't know, and we get this all the time, so you understand. Even before me, we'll have burials. They'll come and say, wow, you're that far developed, is there any more around Mom? No. You know, and there's they miss it, and I get it, because we do so many and sell. In 5 years, you're 2 roads over. And then the frustration is they go out, and there's a lot of them sold, they're not used yet, so there's no stones, different stuff, and they think they're for sale, and they're not. So. So far, we'll see what happens. It seems to be working okay right now. We kind of prepared for a lot of people to come in. But now we are, just so we understand, we are, because it is summer. We get real busy this time with people coming in acquiring different things, and it's just that time of year, so that's okay. We go down to new business. Last year, when we had the storm go through, behind the office, of course the big trees that are 90 foot tall, I had one totally go over and went into the fence, and then I had to cut down another one next to the preacher stand, which is down at the gutter that I have to fix, that we cut up. We were going to do the fence, but it's pretty mangled, so I've asked Custom Fencing to come in. I want his list to do. I believe it was right around $1,200, I believe, to do it, because they will tear it. The posts are all bent and whatever. They will take it out instead of repair it and put new in, so it'll be new fencing. The second foundations you see on there are ready. There's currently about 20. The first pour was about 30. We are ready to go, and hopefully we'll pour those next week, and we already have 20 on the third pour. So foundations are going huge right now. So. And other news is the guys are working very hard. As you see on there, half of the graves are sodded. With the weather, we're struggling some to get that done because it's too wet. So they're going to, if it dries up like we hope to tomorrow, they're going to come in Saturday for half a day and do some more sodding of the graves. In the meantime, we've planted over half our trees from last year that didn't get planted. We have been mowing, and they have started weed whacking. So that's kind of on the agenda, I guess. Full-time employment we have down there was filled. It was, and as I told you, he opted not to do it anymore after a week. So we currently are looking for another full-time employee, excuse me, not employer. Number 6 is a tough one for me right now. My game plan is still to purchase a dump truck, but we're having issues, is the best way to say. One, the size I wanted that I was told I could get, to the price. It's coming in a little bit higher. What happened in the Chevy market is they didn't tell the distributors they stopped making 2019s last September. They stopped early on the chassis and stuff. So we're backpedaling a little bit. They're still trying to find me one and see and get in my price range. So I'm not too sure if that's gonna happen or not. We'll address that when it goes. He's working hard at it, so we'll figure out what. If you understand, I'm trying to get an 8-foot bed. It's a smaller bed, I run 9. 8 foot's kind of nice to get into some of those tight areas. And they told me they could still do it. We may end up with a 9, I don't know yet. We'll see. He's, like I say, he's checking around for chassis links and trying to get in the price. The street has been gracious enough, if he can find me the chassis, I can buy the stuff from W.A. Jones and they'll put the bed and everything on for me, which is nice. Damien has helped me out a bunch and will help me out since I've lost my mechanic. The crews over there is very good. We either take the vehicle to them or they come to us, because I have a full shop in there that they have come and work on our stuff. So they've been doing really, really well. I hate to keep saying, I believe that's the overall view, and I kind of ran through quick. This time of year is basically, like all departments, we're just very busy. It's warming up, a lot of stuff to do outside, stuff to prepare and get cleaned up. Memorial Day's coming. It's going to get busier for us in Leanne because we're going to have to start planting flowers. Leanne does a lot of that. Since Ace is gone, you guys know, I'm pretty sure, and I think we try to stay local on purchasing stuff. And so currently we use Anderson out on 15. I use Maple Lane for a few things, and then we were using Ace Hardware for some flats. Well, Ace no longer is here, and last year Butch, can't remember Butch's last name, has the Sherwin and Lynn's, yes. I went out there and approached him. He doesn't own it anymore. It's a gal that does it, but he helps. I found out, kind of put my foot in my mouth, because I thought Butch owned it. He was there, and she told my secretary she did, but Butch asked her for help for years, and she said he has about 7 or 8 more years of help that he owes her. So she does Winona Lake and different stuff. Prices seem to be really good, so we're going to throw some work her way. She came in to sit with Leanne and talk about flats, and because they're cemeteries, they've decided also to donate their time and plant them in the cremation garden for us. So that's going to take a little load off for us, which is very nice. So Leanne basically will have to do the baskets, so it'll cut a little load off of her, which is really, really nice that they're doing that. So we're, like I say, we're buying the flats of flowers, and then some mulch and stuff like that, I think. So we're going to give them a shot since they're local. And they're a flower distributor. She says they go through every one and refuse what's not. So we thought we would take a chance, and if it's good, then next year we may buy a little bit more from them.
Is this the building that sits next to Sherman and Lynn's there?
Yes, that's two. They own both, and one's kind of a food thing, I believe, and then the other's a flower, tree, shrub, whatever. And I'm sorry I don't remember the lovely lady's name. I will get that for you next meeting. Because as I say, I went in and talked to Butch, and she was standing there, and I thought Butch owned it. He did at one time, and I wasn't. And she was very gracious to tell Leanne, hey, you don't have to tell him. I guess how him and Butch are friends. And we know each other, but we're not close friends. I just thought Butch owned it. So I am going to stop and apologize to her when I get time over there and say, hey, I'm really sorry, and introduce myself again to her, I guess, the right way. As far as that, Mr. President, the only thing I got to tell you, if you look at numbers, money numbers, it won't reflect correctly. When we have funerals on the last day of the month, we can't get the money to them quick enough, so the burials reflect in that month, but the money is in the following month. Okay, so if you look at it, things don't match. Remember, Max had brought that up.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. We try to turn them in as quick as we can. We have a deadline when we can get them in, and if they're afternoon funerals, we will not. So that's the last I have, unless you guys have any questions for me.
I have none.
Ma'am, anything from you? No. Well, Mr. President, if you want to get out of early.
You want to motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
There you go. And you guys all have a great evening.
June the 6th.
Were there deeds to sign?
Yes, right in there. Also, thanks to the lovely lady out there, she asked about July 4th, which happens to fall on the first Thursday, and we will need to change
I have a blue pen. Do you have a black one? I don't want to sign it.
to the second